You're watching Telecom TV from the 2018 TIPS Summit in London. And I'm joined now by Hector Curana, who is Director of Software Engineering at Lumina Networks. Hector, thanks for joining us on Telecom TV. Now, we've been working on digital transformation for a number of years now, but what we're discovering is that engineering for an industry in complete rediscovery isn't just about good engineering. Is Lumina Networks finding the same thing? And if so, what does that mean with regards to your customer relationships?
Right, so I think, nowadays our customers understand their network the best, and we understand sort of open daylight and the value add that provides. And, I think if we collaborate and think of these two engineering teams together as one organization, we can really take it out of the lab and into the network much faster, which is our end goal. And then, we can help them to build the real thing, which is all the value added services on top of it.
Knowledge transfer seems intuitive for a company focused on open source solutions. But that said, we don't yet see a lot of it. How does it work, and why would you give away your intellectual property?
So I think, we build a product on top of open daylight, and a lot of we build value-added services and applications on top of it. But then, our customers also have their own applications that they can build, and that's the beauty of having this as an open source environment. And the knowledge transfer really comes about educating them about what open daylight really is about, what is the platform, how it can fit into their network. And really, sometimes we open up use cases for them that they didn't even realize that they could apply this controller to. And so sometimes, we end up getting different contracts because of that, through this knowledge transfer.
Lumina Networks is of course a very agile company, but not all of your customers are as agile. So how do you amend your approach to support that difference?
Right, so I think at the beginning with new customers we have to, they don't really understand open source. They don't realize that taking a new release is not really so much tied to the overhead of upgrading, but really tied to getting, new functionality, better functionality, maybe advanced functionality of features that they already have, or new features and things like that. So, we have to amend them to the point where, we have to give them longer support at the beginning, but I think over time they understand that agility and they move faster with us.
Open source adds a lot of complexity to an engineering role. For you, how do you build a test and quality organization for open source platforms?
Right, so open source, has all the code, and everybody thinks they can just pick up open source and put it in their production environments. And unfortunately, it's not as easy as that, right? And having been in quality assurance for most of my career, the main thing is quality and bug fixing that goes into production networks. And so we've put a lot of time and effort in order to really build that organization, run integration tests, run interoperability tests, scale tests, longevity tests, all kinds of tests that really will add to the quality of our product. So when we take it to our customers, we have the confidence that this is production ready.
If Lumina Networks is truly open, where do you provide value to your service provider customers?
So one is to, of course, productize or give production grade level to the open source code that we're getting. Also, documentation is a huge thing. So a lot of our customers can take the product, but then they don't really know how to make head or tail of the features that they need. And we isolate the documentation as well to features that they really will use, and not just give them thousands of wiki pages. And then the other thing is, of course, the applications that we build on top of it, and the microservices architecture that we build alongside it in order to satisfy their use cases.
The industry has been talking a lot about further engaging women in technology. How do you feel about women entering the field, and what specifically do women bring to engineering solutions for an industry in flux?
Being a woman in engineering, always supporting other women to come into engineering. It's not an easy world to be in. We have to sort of find your own voice, find your own place, have a certain level of confidence to come into this kind of a field, which is predominantly, male. And I think the main thing is that we bring a very different viewpoint. We bring a very different culture into it. We bring a very different level of all aspects, whether it's from docs to tests to code to delivery, product, interacting with customers at all levels. And I think that type of diversity is required in order to make the company successful.
Hector, thank you very much for joining us on Telecom TV.